Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. We are back with another video. This video is under the Fair Use Act, and the Fair Use Act is in the description box of the video as well as the About Me section of the platform. The Fair Use Act is used to educate you guys on what we are covering on this particular platform. Please keep in mind that this video or my videos are allegedly as well as for educational purposes only. Well, yesterday we kind of got a surprise. Some of us was excited, that Blue and possibly Carlissa was stepping up to help out because, in my opinion, Chrisean does need help with the little guy. I don't feel like he needs to be all over, ripping and running with her, whatever the case. However, I do understand that a single mom or a mom raising a child by her own, it is hard. So I'm not going to take that away from her. However, I've always felt like between Coach and his wife and so forth and so on, I feel like they could have implanted into her to do better, you know, um, with therapies and different kind of things, in my opinion, allegedly. However, Chrisean now come forth and said Blueface was over there in Baltimore for some days or weeks or whatever. She's wanting to prove that he brought tickets while being on probation. She says that she came to LA and she asked Blue could they do the same thing, meaning I guess for him watch the baby at his house, and allegedly he left the baby with Papa Blue. Whatever. Here's my thing with that. Papa Blue been in the baby life. Chrisean used to leave the baby over there with Papa Blue. But I'm sure by now he probably doesn't even remember him, in my opinion. But I don't think anything is wrong with him leaving him with the granddad. Because again, Chrisean used to leave him there all the time with Papa Blue. Chrisean has to get out of that mindset that Blueface is going to shake and bake however she wants him to. That is not going to happen, especially now that he has a new baby. Blue is very clear about being in the delivery room and cutting cords. And, I feel like Chrisean, why now? You know what I'm saying? The closer the vet get, and now here you go wanting to show up on a scene and try to force him to play a role that allegedly, according to us seeing, according to his mouth, even if he been over there, the fact that he won't even say out loud, like Chrisean, you have to wake up. Blue have to wake up. They are very toxic together. Again, I'm doubling down on how I felt about this whole thing because I don't believe in setting people up, to cause them to be in trouble because things aren't going your way. I just don't. You know what I'm saying? Especially when they got children out here that they need to take care and provide of. Especially when they got children that need their father because the mothers aren't, as strong alone or whatever the case. But I don't think that it's right to be trying to get somebody in trouble because they're not doing what you want them to do, how you want them to do it. And Chrisean says the same about Blue. Blue want her to do this. Okay, but you knew that though. You knew that. You was on the interview skipping over your messages, reading his messages. And so you already knew where he stood with this. You already know that he doesn't want anything to do with things like that. He's admitted plenty moons ago that he wanted to help out and different things, but you wasn't included, right? And so now it's Nevaeh time, and this baby is on its way. And what do you want him to do, in my opinion? I feel like Carlissa is over there. I don't feel like Carlissa will hurt a fly when it comes to the children. But I feel she would go all the way out for her children, if that makes any mother would. But I just feel like Chrisean, it seems that, again, she's spoiled. She's the baby of 12, y'all. And so she doesn't care what's that state, who's that state when things doesn't go her way. We've seen it over and over again. But however, I feel like this is not the time for this. The young man is almost 3. This is not the time for this. It's time to get things in order concerning him. You said you got money, you rich, you this and that. So why can't you take time off to do what you need to do? Because as everybody can see, Blueface got a lot of traffic going on in his house. So how could you think in your mind that you feel like that's the right place. And that's my opinion. I've stated many moons ago, many videos ago, many years ago, that Blueface needs to stop having everybody come to his house. He needs to stop bringing everybody he meet into his home. That is a dangerous thing that I think Blueface really needs to stop. You can't trust people. You can't. Sometimes your friends, your loved ones, look what's going on. Look. So Chrisean's been saying a couple of days now, he won't say up front what's going on. He won't tell y'all what's going on behind the scenes. Okay, but after he showed you that, you continuously to play in the field. After he proved to you that he's not going to do the things that the way you want him to do it, you still continuously interact or try to force him to interact in a way that he doesn't want to interact publicly. So you at some point again have to hold yourself accountable for allowing these same things to happen. I do not believe that in the very last trimester that he should miss out on the birth of his child. Absolutely, I do not. I do not. I do not. I do not. The signing of the birth certificate, I do not. In spite of what we feel, Blueface feels that's his child. That's it. Chrisean, she said loud and clear that she went to Baltimore. She ain't want Blue on no paperwork because she ain't want him trying to take her back. She said these things, y'all, and I'm still going to say allegedly. She said these things. So she is the reason why certain things aren't going on. She said these things to us. We haven't forgotten. And again, I'm not bashing neither one of them. I'm feeling like, when are they going to get it right? So that thing, like, he deserves a fair chance at being able to do what other kids can do. And then y'all want to come over here and say, oh, they talking. No, people really want the best and always have. Y'all have got to stop. Y'all have got to hold her accountable. Why? Listen, the man won't even say it's his child. But considering, according to her, he had been there helping out. But it's different when you coming into a home where he already has a mother of his child established, and this girl can go in any day now. And what do you expect him to do? Put out? You know what I'm saying? Like, when it comes to certain things, you got to be fair. You have to be fair. And even with whatever Blueface in the Bay is going through, he's not willing to not be there for this birth. He's not. So now here we back at it. We're gonna sabotage or do whatever we need to do to get Blue in trouble, but that's Blue fault. That's Blue fault because Blue have said plenty of times that she be doing this, and she even threatened him, put his address out, all these different things. I also felt like there should have been some kind of in between to pick up the baby. I also felt like, right away wasn't the right thing to do when he came home. But that spiraled out of control. That went left. And then she said he hit her. We don't know. We do know the history though, right? And so this is why it should be an intervention. But somehow, and he could be feeding her la stuff. I'm not saying he ain't, because look, we see how Blue live. But she got to understand that nothing is going to change, especially now he got a new baby. Nothing is going to be solely about you and yours. It's not. Any event, y'all hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, love on those that love on you, and pray for the world. And just let's keep in prayer that somehow, some way, just do the right thing and stop making it about you guys. Y'all hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, love on those that love on you, and pray for the world. Peace.